So hello and welcome back to my channel. This is a 4-part video series with Kesheba, and she's going to be asking me a bunch of questions for you to get to know me in a different way than, me just sitting down and sharing topics. And so there'll be a video that will drop each week. And so I'm looking forward to sharing more with you. And yeah, please feel free to share any additional questions that you have, any comments in the comment section. So Kesheba, I'm going to hand over to you. This is new for me.
Oh, this is different. Bit of a twist.
I know.
I would love to kind of share a little bit about how we know each other and how we kind of came about. So it's really funny. Obviously, originally, I felt like we've known each other for about a year, maybe over a year now. And I was basically working with a friend. I was doing some social media management for another client. And I basically was scrolling on her feed, doing some research, and you came up on the feed and I was like, whoa, this person's so cool. I was obsessed with your content. And so I had to send your account to my profile so I could follow you and just kind of get a little bit more of what you were up to.
Yeah.
For kind of like a perspective of other people, what I could see was your red lipstick, you sat on this chair, and behind you, these shoes. It was just so many gorgeous shoes. We know you're a shoe person. And so I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. And we connected, we exchanged quite a couple of messages. We were speaking quite a little bit, weren't we? And you were really supportive of everything I was putting out. And I was like, oh my goodness, I love Danielle's energy as well. And then we ended up kind of working together. You booked a call and we kind of went from there.
Exactly. And I remember when I saw your profile and I was just like, she knows what she's talking about. I need help. I'm going to book a call with her. And that is it. And ever since then, we just worked together as and when needed. And last year we done the content shoot for Athletia. And here we are again doing another one for me. And there'll be another one coming as well.
Very shortly, which I'm so excited about. So yeah, we've been on such a journey. I
know. And Kesheba is also, you are one of those people where I think about last week and when we had a call on the Friday and I had 1 hour and 29 minutes sleep according to Apple. And I was like, I am exhausted. I am so tired, but I've got this call with Kesheba. I'm excited about this call, so I don't want to cancel it. And I just was like, Kesheba, I'm showing up, glasses, headscarf, like whatever. Like at that point, I hadn't even brushed my teeth or anything. I was just like, I'm going straight back to bed after this call.
Done.
So you see me in different lights for sure.
Yeah, no, and I love that because I feel like I'm very similar with you where I feel like I'm super, super comfortable.
Yeah.
And I know other people are different and some people find that they're more productive when they're dressed up and whatnot, but I actually find whatever I'm wearing, as long as I'm comfortable, I am the best, for the situation, best for kind of like my work environment and what I need to get out. So absolutely. No, it was great. It was great. Danielle, tell me though, how would you describe yourself? What are some things that people might not know about you?
Yeah. Okay. So I would describe myself. I'm really, really random. So I am so random. I think probably the people who know it best is my family and my friends that are really close to me. Because sometimes I will call one of my friends and they'll pick up the phone and I'll say something really outlandish. And they'll be like, "What the hell?" Like I'm one of those people. Like, what is she going on about today? And then also, let me see what else. So yeah, random. Also, what is it? Random, laugh a lot, laugh a hell of a lot. I feel like I laugh my way through life. I really, really do. And I smile a lot. And I remember at the last company that I worked for, and one time there was this lady, she's no longer there, but she said to me, Danielle, is it out of nerves? And I'm like, no, I laugh because I'm alive, And it's just part of who I am. And I never forget, there was this one time, Kesheba, we went out for this massive family dinner because I had my family that came over from New York. And so we all got together and stuff. And I was laughing. And my mum said to me, Danielle, that's an inside laugh, not an outside laugh. Literally. I was like, mate, I'm going to laugh however I want, wherever I am, okay? Like, this is my laugh. It's God-given. I embrace it. It's great. And then my mum will be like, even if we got like a family day, and my mum will be like, Danielle, it just goes right through me. I might need to turn down the sound for this, actually. And it's so funny because my 2 youngest nieces, they kind of categorize us all. And so my nieces have said, I am the loud one. I'm the loud one because of my laugh. So when they come round, like even when I was sitting down with one of my nieces and we're working on something and I was laughing and she was like, shh. It's so loud.
Like, thank you.
So yeah, and then I think apart from that, love shoes, absolutely love shoes, and yeah, just a super, I don't know, super organized and planning person, even though I wasn't always organized according to my mum. At one point I was super messy and my sister had to corner off the bedroom and be like, this is my space and this is your space. And I'm going to speak to my sister about that tonight or tomorrow actually.
Can you confirm?
I need to hear her side.
Confirm or deny on this situation?
Exactly. Because I feel like I've always been organised.
Oh my God.
But obviously not. But anyway.
So interestingly, you spent 7 years and 10 months in your last role, which is a long time.
I know.
As a people and culture director at Global Fashion Group,
Yeah.
who were you the day that you left? Like, what made you get to that point?
I mean, I've shared it and I'll get it linked up for the last video when I spoke about it in greater detail. But I think when I left, I was very much like, look, that's my role. I may be leaving, but that's my role. And so, even up to the point where I was leaving, it was making sure, does everybody have what they need? Have I handed over everything? Cleaning up everything that I needed to do in like G Suite and stuff like that. I got to keep my laptop, but it was also one of those things where the day went so fast. I was like, oh my God, I haven't done everything. So when the IT guy was like, yeah, Danielle, now we need to wipe it. I'm like, okay, give me a minute. But it was just very much being like intentional and conscious about making sure that everything ran smooth. And I'm a completer finisher. So I don't leave things, undone. And so, like I said to the team, if there is anything that comes up, feel free to reach out to me to let me know. So I was very much in that role. So yeah.
I was just going to say, it's funny because you really are. And that's a really big skill. It's a really big skill. Being a completer finisher is a massive skill. And a skill that I feel like I need to do the math on it, but I'm sure there's like less than 10% of people that are completer finishers. Like, how many of us have New Year's goals? How many of us have goals? How many of us have multiple to-do lists on multiple sheets of paper? That is a skill in itself.
Do you know what's really interesting? I remember once at work, and this was at GFG, and we done like this leadership assessment of everyone. And I feel like out of everyone, I was the one that was the completer finisher in the group. And it's like, so to your point, there's not many of us out there, but this is why I'm also really, really passionate about helping people on their journeys too, because I am known as that person who gets shit done. And I have a way and logic of being able to do that. And so that's definitely something that I love helping people with, because it is actually possible. And so, there's just different ways to go about it.
No, I love that. Who are you now that you're like full time? I remember when you told me this, you were like, Kesheba, I am leaving by this date. And you're like, you can't tell anyone, but I am leaving by this date. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So it's really interesting. I mean, I was juggling the two and I was able to juggle the two. When I look back now, I don't even know how I was juggling the two. Like, that's the truth. And I think maybe that's because so much for athletes here is ramped up now. So being able to do this day with you means everything, because it means that, I've got 4 weeks worth of content now and beyond, because this video is going to be chopped up in different ways and stuff. But I would say now, I'm super honed in and focused and a lot more strategic, because I have that headspace to be, but also I don't have anybody else to rely on really. I have my network of people, I have mentors who I can call on, but day to day I've got to sit with myself and be like, right, what decision do you need to make in order to make this happen? And so, I've said it to you before, I have no desire to be an influencer. I'd have no desire to be, a full-time content creator or anything. I'm a businesswoman, and that is who I feel that I am now evolving into, and I'm really, really happy about that. And it's a journey for sure, and there's so many learnings that come from that. But that's the place that I'm in.
I love that. I love that. It's funny because I've obviously been self-employed for quite a few years now, 3 years, maybe going into 4th. And before that, I worked for my dad's company. So it was amazing. I had a lot of flexibility. And so the idea of you working a full-time job and not just like a full-time job where you could switch off. It was like you were managing a lot of people, to do that and build Athletesia on the side. And not in a way that a lot of people do, where, and I said this to you often, I say, like, I see people build brands, I see people bring things out, I see people launch athleisure wear and lots of different things, and they do it like this, and they're like, oh, just get AI to do this, get this to do this, and this to do that. But you are so intentional. You've got focus groups, you've tested this, you've got women doing this, and you've got a group here, and you're speaking to this people, and you're engaged with that person, and she moves for her, and all of those things. To do all of that alongside a full-time job, I mean, I don't know how you sleep. Like, where's the space?
Do you know what it is though? I think you've also got to make a call as to what are you prepared to compromise on, what are you prepared to sacrifice as well, because it does come with sacrifices. Like, that's the bottom line. And I've spoken about before, where I got to the point where I was sacrificing so much, but I came very resentful. And so I'm very cautious with Athletesia to make sure that I don't become resentful. And so, in my last YouTube video, I spoke about, although I'm a solo founder, I'm not really, because there's a team that I work with. And so that's super, super important, because I never want to get to the point where I'm just like, I've had enough of this, and that's when you reach burnout. But also alongside that, another important piece that I believe is key when it comes to that, and oh my gosh, I hate it when something comes into your head and then it just disappears. It's like, damn, where did it go? I can't remember, but anyway, I think being able to have that support system definitely helps and makes a difference for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. Iceland.
Yes.
So you were stacking shelves. You were stacking shelves in Iceland, and I've directly said to me that you think that this has helped you in the path and journey you're on now. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably have to ask my mum, but when I got my national insurance card at 15, I can't remember if I started working at Iceland when I was 15 or whether it was 16. I can't remember if you could back then. Anyway, probably 16. Let's go with 16, right? And so, was it 16? Anyway, I worked at Iceland, because you know me, I'm trying to figure out the ages.
Yes.
But when I was working at Iceland, I was stacking shelves. I was, doing the freezers with the big gloves, because you had to protect yourself, bringing in deliveries, etc. And so, there was a process and a protocol to that in terms of how you would stack shelves. Do you put all the good stuff to the back and all the old stuff to the front? And so when I shop, that's how I shop now. When I had got to a certain point, it was like, okay, we can put her on the tills now. I was that person who was on the tills with my long ass nails, like Peter Griffin when he's tapping the phone. I kind of think that's crazy now that I had nails, because I cut my nails all the time. And the woman who does my nails, she's like, do you want them shorter? And I'm like, yeah, you know me, like, cut them all the way down, because otherwise I scratch myself at night. And so I feel like I need to be a baby with mittens when I'm sleeping, because I wake up and I'm like, Danielle, look at that scratch. But anyway.
What will you do with those claws?
So that's why I don't have nails. But anyway, I keep them super short. And so I think in terms of, how I went about life, what that taught me is just how to organize and structure things and put things in a certain way. And so I definitely took that with me. So when you speak about my wardrobe, and even when I think about when I was 18 and I lived in shared accommodation, and I've never told anyone this, but I lived in shared accommodation, and there was one day I was working at Topshop, and I came home, and I was like, went upstairs to my bedroom door. It was with two other girls, and I was like, why does my bedroom door look like that? What is this big massive padlock? And basically the police had done a raid, and they had literally, obviously broke my door down or whatever, and here's a nice lock for you. And so one of the things that they had said is, oh, her bedroom was so tidy. Thanks. Nice to know.
Yeah, nice to know. Thanks for going into my space, invading my space.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
But it does say a lot about you, though, because you think about how often police officers are in people's houses. I mean, they see the worst of the worst and the best of the best. For them to tell you that your room's very tidy.
I know. And they didn't, they left my room as it is.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. As they should.
It was nice.
As they should. The room is very tidy. Makes it a mess.
Yeah. Hilarious.
And so, Urban Outfitters, you mentioned this briefly to me on a call, but you said there's a story where you went out for a dinner at Urban Outfitters with your team.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, this is So when I was at Urban Outfitters, and I remember I can't remember if it was a leadership dinner or a leadership lunch. And when I told you this story, it made me think like, Danielle, where was you eating before? You went, I don't know. I might have to ask some of my friends from back in the day, like, where were we going? Was it just McDonald's? But anyway, it's just McDonald's, right? So literally, I remember, so we went out and there was obviously all of these knives and forks on the table. And I was in my late 20s then. And I remember looking and I was thinking, what the hell? Like, where do I start? And so I remember one of the guys there, he just basically leaned in. No one would have been none the wiser. And he was like, from the outside in. I was like, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much. And so I want to highlight something there with that is because, you know, I've had so many women who have support me on my journey, but I also have so many incredible men that support me on my journey too. And men who have championed me, men who, you know, want to see me win, who support me, who will send me stuff that they think is useful for my journey, etc. And so I feel that we're in a time where, you know, of course, I understand it, I get it, but there are good men out there. And I think that's really important to acknowledge that, because I would say on my career journey, you know, if it wasn't for certain men, you know, who were part of that journey, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. You know, I remember when I was at Urban Outfitters and I was moving into HR, and the MD at the time, he had basically said to me, you know, for this role, you're going to need to be linking in with lawyers and all of the rest of it, which was very, very different to what I was doing. And I knew what he meant by that. You know, I went and got CIPD qualified. I went and then got my master's degree, but it meant that I had to look at things from a completely different lens and a different perspective. And, you know, he was super, super supportive. So he was the one, and I think I've shared this before, where when I had my appraisal with him, and I said, oh, well, you know, is there anything that I can work on? And he said, you're too optimistic. I can actually see him right now. I can see him right now. I feel like I want to find him, but I haven't been able to find him. But anyway, he was like, you're too optimistic. I was like, oh, okay. Not going to change that.
Compliment. It's like, do you realise that's a compliment?
I know, but I think what he was trying to get at is, Danielle, you know, it's good to be optimistic, but at the same time, you got to balance it out a little bit. So, yeah. Bless him.
Amazing.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Too optimistic.
Yeah. Love it.
But that's funny, because I do think like you're like that in all areas of your life. And I'd say that I see that through everything that you do. One of my favourite Danielle sayings is everything is figure-outable. Like,
yeah. Well, let me give credit to Marie Forleo, by the way, because that comes from her. I give her credit all the time. Like, yeah, absolutely love that phrase. It's just so damn true. So true.
I feel like it's a really good representation of you, though, and who you are. I think.
Thank you.
Even though I get voice notes sometimes, you're like, there's this problem. It's fine, though. Everything's fine. I'm going to figure it out. And I'm like, I'd be crashing out, Danielle. Actually, I did crash out when that happened to me. And you're like, and then it's like an hour later, it's okay, solved it, everything's fine. I'm like, okay.
I know. For every problem, there is a solution.
And I think with the skill you have as well as you like solve the problem very quickly, very fast moving with, there's a problem, there's a solution, it's fixed, move on to the next thing. Whereas I think sometimes it can be like, oh my goodness, you'll spend so long obsessing over the problem that you don't see the solutions right in front of you.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. I would probably give credit to, you know, when I was at GFG, just in the sense of, you know, moving through different roles and having to deal with different things. And it's just like, it's fast paced. You know, 9 times out of 10 on a job application, you might see, you know, fast paced environment. And it's like, you have to move. You can't be slow. And of course, there are some things where you might need to take more time, but you have to move. Like, what is the next move on this? You know, we need to get it done. And so I do also, though, give myself that space and time to think things through as well. And if I need longer, then I'm going to do that. So it's not always necessarily, it's probably quicker than maybe some, but yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely quicker than some. But I guess in your head, though, even if you are taking time, you're taking time that other people wouldn't have because they're not even coming to a solution. Because they're obsessing over the problem.
Exactly. And I think that's a big piece as well, right? It's, you have to look beyond the problem that is in front of you, and you have to break down, okay, what exactly is the issue here? You know, with my team, I would always be like, cool, if something has happened, let me know and we can figure it out. No one's gonna die. Like, do you get where I'm coming from? We're not surgeons here, so there's a way around it. And do you know what, if something has messed up, cool, you know, it's a lesson learned and we figure it out for the next time. It's just with athletes here, you know, has absolutely everything gone according to plan? No. You know, I spoke about last time with a hang tag, and where one of my manufacturers was like, look, this is a bit blurry, and I'm just like, it is what it is. It's what it is. When I print them again next time, I'll make sure they're less blurry. You know, it's just like, you've just got to weigh it up sometimes. So even though the solution might not be immediate, there's a solution down the line. It's okay. You can move past it. So it's a mindset for sure, but I do believe it's a mindset shift that people can, you know, also figure out for themselves. It's just, what is that problem? You know, break it down. What exactly is going on here? But also, why are you panicking about it? Why are you allowing this to take you over? Okay, cool. Sit with it. Now, what can you do? What's that next step? And just take that next step. And that might sound simple, but hey, come and work with me and I'll show you.
I mean, you're going to be doing some things, aren't you? You'll show them.
Yeah.
Yes, because I don't know if this is something we can speak about, but I know you've obviously asked me, didn't you? You said, Kesheba, what can I do alongside this, in the sense of like coaching? And we spoke about how you are the person that people need to come to when they're ready to actually solve their problem. Like when they're ready to actually go, tell me what I'm not seeing, tell me directly. Don't go around the edges. Like, just say, this is your problem. This is what you need to do. Get there.
And you know what? My friends, and they'll vouch for this, is they're like, you're like a life coach. And I'm like, I don't know, life coach. But it's just one of those things where, I don't know, we all have gifts. We all have gifts, and I think it's so important to be able to tap into what our gifts are and to be able to look at, okay, how can I use my gift for the good of others and for the good of what I'm doing as well? And once you figure that out, you know, it becomes a lot more clear and there's a lot more clarity to it. So definitely there's something in that for sure. And so as I work through, you know, things for athletes here, etc., you know, I've said in a video before, I still have my personal brand, and that needs to be, you know, separated out as well. And so when people are like, oh, you know, do you offer one-to-ones? Yeah, I do, for sure, without a doubt. My website's still being built in the background. Well, no, it's offline at the moment, and there's like a website loading, but it is going to start to be built in the background, probably August, September, and you know that will have all the information there. But yeah,
I think it's going to be so interesting to see the transformation people go through, because I think a lot of the transformation will be mentally. You have this really incredible power where you are able just to organize things, and not necessarily just outside. I think organize things mentally in your head. And I think that's why you're so organized physically, is because you're so organized mentally. No,
that's a valid point. It's a valid
point. And I think that when you coach people and when you help people, I think that's going to be a massive part of that, is going, okay, but like, what's actually going on? Why is there a barrier here? And how do you get over that? Which is probably why your friends are saying life coach.
Yeah, they are. And do you know what? You asked me, there was something that I wanted to mention, that's where it was, where you asked me about, you know, who I am now. I would say I'm at my most strongest mentally, physically, and emotionally, for sure, without a doubt. And that's just because I feel like I've had a bit more headspace to decide how I manage my day, how I run my routine, etc., and just being really disciplined about the things that matter most to me. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Where were you born? Is the next question.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Because a lot of people, I was born in Uddersfield in Yorkshire. So, what? Yeah, you see? So a lot of people don't.
You're a northerner.
Yeah. But we left, I mean, I don't remember living there because I was a baby, but then we lived in Canada for a short period of time as well. So, yeah.
What? I did not know this.
But I am, if someone was to say, and then I grew up in Tottenham, like a vast majority of my life. So, yeah.
Huddersfield?
Yeah. Huddersfield. I'm from Huddersfield.
That's amazing. So, does your mum have like a northern accent?
No, because my mum came over from Jamaica. But where you'll see for the creative shoot, and where my two sisters are there and one of my nieces. So my sister, who's helping with the posing stuff, she has an accent. Yeah. So I remember when we would go to Uddersfield to see like my grandma and, you know, family and stuff. And so I remember she would always say, do you want some pop? Do you want some pop?
It's funny, I think I catch myself sometimes because my mum was raised in Bradford, so not very far.
Yeah.
And so when I lived in Manchester, my accent definitely comes out when I'm different places. I am like...
I feel like the accent is really weird. It will show up sometimes. It's like, oh, what's that about? Like,
oh, yeah.
Even though I was a baby, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's so funny how it picks up. My brother-in-law, he's from up north in Selby as well. And so it's always around and you're like, oh, that is not something you would say if you were Southern.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you when no one is around, Danielle?
Oh my gosh, when no one is around. So I would say I love my own company. I absolutely love my own company. I am not one of those people who need to be around people to be happy or anything like that. When nobody is around, I am that person who is literally dancing around my house like a nutter. But I also will be singing Drake walking down the road. Like White Bone is one of my favorite tracks right now. And so I'll be walking down the road with my AirPods in and I'm like, do I want to sing?
You're going to sing. You're like,
here's what I know. Here's what I do know. and people would know it. They'll just think like, okay, maybe she's speaking to someone on the phone. That's the great thing about having AirPods, right?
What's going on?
Yeah. Somebody please take my phone. No, I've done that wrong. Anyway, yeah, whatever. I got the melody of that wrong. But anyway, that's me. So anyway, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be like literally dancing around my house, singing around my house, and just literally chilling. And so it's so funny when it comes to content. And Kesheba, you know, we've had conversations about content. I'll be like, Kesheba, it would be very inappropriate for me to pick up the phone and record in a lot of situations. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. It'd be very inappropriate for me to pick up and record. I'm in my home. I'm at peace. I ain't in a recording state. So yeah.
It's like,
that's all I'm sharing that from.
Be a recording with just your voice.
Literally. Oh gosh, but yeah. Okay. That gives you a bit of an insight.
Like I've got to know you a lot better today.
You probably have. This is, my family would know this stuff.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Danielle, how excited are you about life right now?
Oh my God, 10. Like, I swear, I feel like I could burst like a pack of Skittles because I'm like, do you remember that Skittles advert? And was it with Morgan Freeman? I swear it was Morgan Freeman or someone. I hope I didn't get that wrong. Do you know what? Let me not say Morgan Freeman because it'd be like, Danielle, are you just saying that any black man looks like Morgan Freeman? I can't remember. Anyway, it's back. So I can say that. But basically, and it's like the man with this, and he tastes Skittles and he just bursts into a pack of Skittles. But anyway, and so, I'm just excited. There's so much happening with Athletesia. And that's really at the forefront for me. And, you know, I'm sure we'll speak about that. But I'm excited. I'm under pressure from every single angle. Don't get it twisted. There's a lot happening, but I'm excited. So 10.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how exciting.
10.
And the way you responded to that as well, it was like, oh, I'm definitely a 10. Like, there's no consideration there. It's like, don't need to consider it. You're a pack of Skittles.
Pack of Skittles.
Sponsor this video.
Exactly. Should have had some.
I know.
Yeah.
What is the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
Oh my gosh, I would say probably for me, is going Bali by myself on a solo trip in 2023, which was absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to go back to Bali. I wanted to go back in 2024, but when did we go to Jamaica as a family holiday? I think it was 2024. And I wanted to go back last year as well, but obviously with Athletesia I couldn't. And this year I don't think I can squeeze it in, but I'm hoping 2027. But I had never really gone on a long haul solo trip by myself before. So that was a first. And I say like Bali's my second home. I love the place so much. Beautiful. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. I recommend it to everyone. And don't worry about these damn retreats. Just go. And I am not a retreat person. I'm a yoga teacher and stuff and Pilates instructor. I don't like retreats. I don't want anyone owning my schedule. I just want to be able to go and do whatever I want to do.
Interesting. That is really interesting. As a yoga teacher,
Yeah.
would not do it. So you probably wouldn't have hosted a retreat.
If I hosted a retreat, it'd be very different. It'd be very different. It won't be like, right, we're doing sun salutations at 9, then we're going to do yin at 10. Like, oh no, spare me, please. Spare me. No. Sounds like torture, quite frankly. It's not my jam. It's not my jam at all. It's not.
What was it? I think it's like Kourtney Kardashian thing. It's like, I am unsubscribing.
Yeah,
from this.
exactly. I am unsubscribing from this. Like, no. Can we switch it up a bit? So, yeah.
What was so transformational for you in Bali?
Do you know what? I feel that I just had so much. I like to be in my own company, but I just had time and space to be away from everything that was happening globally. I had no clue what was happening in the world. I was in a bubble, a complete and utter bubble, and that bubble was just pure bliss. It was beautiful. It really, really was. So, yeah.
So I guess if you went again in 2027, you'd be really intentional about what you're letting into your world while you're over there.
Yeah, and I guess it would be very different because when I went to Bali, I was just working full time. I didn't have athletes or anything, but going to Bali next time, I would have athletes. And yeah, there would need to also be shifts within the business in order for me to do that as well. But yeah, I would be intentional. I would be switched on to that, but I would need to very carefully manage what I was digesting because yeah, the experience would be very different.
For sure.
Yeah.
Exciting though. Danielle, what's a book that everyone should read?
Oh my gosh, hello. Everything is Figure-outable by Marie Forleo, of course.
I'm shocked.
My God, like everything is Figure-outable by Marie Forleo, hands down. I feel every human should read that book.
I wish I had more questions for this, but I feel like it's just, you. Like, I think you're a walking book, aren't you? Like,
I swear, do you know what? Sometimes I think to myself, if Marie Forleo ever wanted to sell it, I'd be like, Marie, let me buy it.
Let me buy it.
Because I would rinse it. I would have merch and all sorts, mate. I would have so much linked to that
always
book.
tag her.
But I think, look, the book, I think really the reason why it's so brilliant as well is because it has different case studies in there. It has different people's situations and circumstances of what they've gone through and what they've experienced and, how they looked at it from a different lens. And so that's the whole premise of the book. Everything is figure-outable. And that might be difficult to see sometimes in certain situations. And, she speaks about her experience with that as well. But there is a way out. So yeah, definitely that book.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when did you read it for the first time?
God, when did I read it? Let me put it on screen. I'll ask some of me to put it on the screen because I can't remember. But yeah, ever since then, it's just something that stuck with me. Yeah.
Do you remember if it was before or after you started to build Athletesia?
Oh God, definitely before. I think it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I'll check.
No, I was just going to say.
I've got it in my book app, but yeah.
You got it there? No. So, because it probably then, I guess, really impacted you from the start of your journey then, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I've always been a person, for every problem, there is a solution. Like my brain, anytime I've done any tests, personality-wise, my brain is just very logical. It's very like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes here and there. And I was part of a mastermind. This was years ago on my business journey. And I remember Suzanne, who was the lead of it. And she basically said to me, I was speaking and she goes, Danielle, you're so succinct and you speak with so much clarity. And that's literally, I was previously known as the clarity architect, and that's where that came from. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she inspired that. Danielle McDonald, the clarity architect. So much about my journey, but anyway.
It's another section we need to open up about, for sure. Heels, flats, or trainers?
I feel that's a really, really tricky one. It's a really tricky one because I love my heels. I love heels so much. But I feel like I need to create more occasions for heels. That's why I'm in the Athletesia shorts and t-shirt with heels because I'm like, why not? Like, why do I have to wear flats? Like, no. But I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm in, my Nike trainers or my Converse. When I'm working out, I'm in my Vivo barefoot. But yeah, I like to balance it out when I can.
Balance out.
So I don't know if I can don't know if I want to pick a specific one.
Not with the amount of shoes you have.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll keep that open.
Everyone will be like, so we've seen your shoes, Danielle. You've got quite a few of every single one. What are you grateful for?
So I have every single morning in my Apple Journal app, I have, every day, things I'm grateful for today. And so one of the things that I always write first is waking up this morning, because I consider it a true gift and a blessing to have woken up this morning, because there's so many people who didn't. And I feel that it's so easy to take life for granted and to look at it from the lens of it's just a given. It's not given. It is truly a gift. And so that is how I go through life. And so for me to not laugh on a day or to not smile when I've been given this gift that many are not going to experience, or, you know, maybe today is their last, maybe today, anyway, not going to say it, but you never know. But you know, it's one of those things where it's something that I hold so dear. You already know about my faith and, you know, my relationship with Jesus Christ. So I'm always so grateful for the fact that I've woken up. And I feel the way how I look at life is each day I wake up, that is a sign for me to do something with the life that I've been given, whether it's for, you know, the journey that I'm on for somebody else. And it could be something so small. And this is what I want people to understand as well. I think sometimes there is so much focus on doing these big things. You don't have to do big things all the time. You can do small things. You know, one of the things that I introduced in my Instagram stories on a Friday is being able to say, right, I got time Friday and I'm sharing accounts of, you know, amazing people out there who I think other people should check out. I took my mini break, so I've missed a couple of Fridays, I believe. You know, but at the end of the day, like, that's what it's about. Like, what can you do with what you've been given and the time that you have on this earth? And I understand as well that sometimes you might be going through something and it might be a case of, do you know what? What's the point? What is this about? But you are breathing. And just for the fact that you are breathing, please take that as a sign. Take that as a sign that you are here, you are valued, and, you know, do something with it. Whatever you want to do, go after it, make it happen. I make that sound super simple, but, you know, it's possible.
Even if it sounds simple, I think it's because it is simple. It's like, you just need to get out of the mentality if it's hard. When you have a mentality that something's hard, it's going to be harder than it is, isn't it?
Definitely, 100%. Any more questions? Are we done?
No.
All right.
That's the end of my questions.
All right, so part 1 is done, and so part 2 will be coming soon. So if you are not subscribed to this channel, be sure to subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.
See you soon. Amazing. That went so well.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was really cool.